All right, thanks, guys. We are currently 72% in our last 52 daily double plays on patreon.com/brockpage. We're also hitting at 68% for the college football season on that website. Link for that site is in the description section below. That is patreon.com/brockpage. All right, let's go ahead and get into our NHL slate for Thursday. And to start, we're going to have the Sharks taking on the Canadiens. 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop in Montreal. The Canadiens are minus 135, total 6.5. Saw a 10-cent move toward Montreal. No movement on the total as of yet. The Canadiens open $1.25, up to 135, total 6.5. 57% of the consensus are leaning towards San Jose. 76% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Sharks are plus 115 on the money line. Montreal plus $1.80, laying the goal and a half. Now, Montreal has been victorious in 2 out of their last 3. They also rank 5th in scoring, 2nd in shots allowed at home. The Sharks, on the other side, just 1-6 in their last 7 on the road, dating back to last season. The Sharks are also just 3-5-1 overall for the year, and they're winless as the underdog. They lost their last 6 straight as the underdog. Now, total-wise, San Jose is 6-4 to the under in their last 10, taking on Montreal. They're also 7-1 to the under in their last 8 in Montreal. The Canadiens, on the other side, 2-1-1 to the under at home. I'm going to lean Montreal minus 135. And the under 6.5 in that game. Next matchup, Hurricanes taking on the Blue Jackets, 7 o'clock Columbus. The Hurricanes are minus 125 on the road, totals at 6. 65% are leaning Carolina, 58% shaded toward the under. Right now, Columbus is plus 105 on the money line. The Hurricanes plus 220, laying the goal and a half. Carolina's 6-3 overall, 3rd in shots allowed. CBJ on the other side, 29th in scoring, 3-6 in their last 9, taking on the Eastern Conference. Now, total-wise, CBJ is 9-0 to the under in their last 9, taking on Carolina. Give me the Hurricanes, minus 125, and the under 6 goals. Next game, Coyotes taking on the Islanders. 7 o'clock Long Island. New York's minus 120, total 5.5. Saw a nickel fade of New York in the early wagering. The Islanders open $1.25 down to 120. Totals 5.5. 61% are leaning Arizona. 69% shaded toward the over. Right now the Coyotes are plus 105 on the money line. The Islanders are plus 230 on the puck line. The Islanders have been victorious in their last 4 straight. They also rank 7th in goals allowed on average per game. Now, Arizona on the other side, just 3-7 in their last 10 head-to-head matchups with New York. They're also 23rd in road scoring. Now, total-wise, Arizona is 7-3 to the under in their last 10, taking on the Islanders. Meanwhile, New York on the other side, 4-1 to the under at home. I'm going to lean New York minus 120. And the under 5.5 in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Thursday's NHL action. But before we dive into some more of that, just want to quickly remind you once again to check me out on my website at patreon.com/brockpage, where we are 72% in our last 52 daily double picks. We're also hitting at 68% for the college football season on that website. We do daily plays on that site, and we have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to, beginning at just $1.99 per month. There's also my current record for free right there on the homepage. That is patreon.com/brockpage. Link for that site is in the description section below. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive back into some more lines and personal leans right here on YouTube. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got the Sabres taking on the Rangers. 7 o'clock, New York. Buffalo's minus 120 on the road. Total 6.5. 71% are leaning Buffalo. 69% shaded toward the under. 69% shaded toward the under. The Rangers are catching even money on the money line. Buffalo plus 225, laying the goal and a half. Buffalo is 8-1-1 overall, 4th in scoring, 5th in goals allowed. New York on the other side, just 2-4-1 overall, 1-2-1 at Madison Square Garden. They also rank dead last in shots allowed. Now, total-wise, the Rangers are 4-3 to the under for the season, 3-1 to the under at home. Give me the Sabres minus 120 and the under 6.5 in that contest. Next matchup, Kings, Blues, 8 o'clock, St. Louis. The Blues are 180, total 5.5. A lot of movement in this one. We actually saw a 25-cent fade of St. Louis and movement downward on the total. The Blues open 205 all the way down to minus 180. Total open 6 down to 5.5. 85% of the consensus are leaning toward St. Louis, 70% shaded toward the over. Right now the Kings are plus 160 on the money line. The Blues plus 150, laying the goal and a half. St. Louis has dropped 4 out of their last 5 games. They also rank 26th in offensive shots at home. The Kings on the other side, winners in their last 2 straight. They're also 4-2 in their last 6, taking on the Western Conference. One more thing to add about Los Angeles, they rank 2nd in offensive shots per game. Now, total-wise, the Kings are 80% to the over in their last 5 on the road, dating back to last season. The Blues are 6-3 to the over in their last 9 at home, dating back to last season. I'm going to lean Kings plus 1.5 and the over 5.5 in that contest. Next matchup, Wild, Predators, 8 o'clock, Nashville. The Preds are minus 180, total at 6. Not a whole lot of movement on this total, although we did see a nickel move toward Nashville. No real surprises there. The Preds open 175 up to 180, totals at 6. 75% of the consensus are leaning toward Nashville, 51% shaded toward the under. Right now, Minnesota is plus 160 on the money line. Nashville plus $1.50, laying the goal and a half. Nashville ranks 28th in goals allowed, 2-3 in their last 5. Minnesota's won their last 2 straight. They're 13th in shots allowed on the road. Total-wise, Nashville 5-1 to the over at home, 8-1 to the over for the year. I'm going to lean Minnesota plus 1.5 and the over 6 goals in that matchup. Next game, Ducks, Stars, 8:30 Dallas. The Stars are 145, total of 5. Pretty good movement in this one as well, both on the sides and the total. Saw a 10-cent move toward Dallas and movement downward on the total. Dallas open $1.35 up to 145. Total open 5.5 down to 5 flat. 60% are leaning Dallas. 69% shaded toward the over. Right now the Ducks are plus 125 on the money line. Dallas plus $1.85 on the puck line. Now if you like Dallas in this matchup here, just keep in mind they've won just 3 out of their last 11 games. They're just 3-7-1 overall for the year, 1-5-1 as the favorite. They rank dead last in scoring on average per game, and they're 30th in shots. Now the Ducks on the other side, 6-4 overall for the year, 1st in goals allowed, 2nd in shots allowed on the road. And total-wise, Anaheim is 6-4 to the under for the season. Meanwhile, Dallas on the other side, 4-0 to the under at home, 8-3 to the under for the season. I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me the Ducks plus $1.25 and the under 5 goals in that game. Next matchup, Flyers, Blackhawks, 8:30 Chicago. The Blackhawks are $1.15, total 6.5. We did see a 10-cent move toward Chicago. This one pretty much opened as a coin flip. Once again, the Blackhawks open 105 up to 115, total 6.5. 54% are leaning Flyers, 65% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Flyers are minus 105 on the money line. Chicago plus 220, laying the goal and a half. The Blackhawks are 2-8 straight up in their last 10, taking on Philly. They're also just 2-3-2 overall for the year, 26th in shots allowed. Now, the Flyers on the other side, they are 3rd in offensive shots, 1st in shots allowed. And when it comes to the total, Philly's 6-2 to the under in their last 8 head-to-head matchups with Chicago. The Blackhawks on the other side, 4-2 to the under at home. Give me the Flyers minus 105 and the under 6.5 in that matchup. Next game, Capitals, Oilers, 9 o'clock, Edmonton. The Caps are minus 130 on the road, total at 6. No movement on the total yet. We did see a 15-cent move toward Washington. The Caps opened $1.15 up to 130. Totals at 6. 68% are leaning Washington. 88% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Oilers are plus 110 on the money line. Washington plus $1.90, laying the goal and a half. The Capitals are 23rd in offensive shots on the road. They're also just 4-11 straight up in their last 15 in Edmonton. If you're into historical trends, that dates back quite a few seasons. Now, Edmonton on the other side, they are 4th in home scoring, 7-2-1 overall for the year, and they are undefeated at home, 4-0 straight up in the friendly confines. Now, total-wise, Washington on the other side, 7-4 to the over for the season. I'm going to lean toward the home dog in this one. Give me Edmonton plus $1.10 and the over 6 goals in that game. And we're going to slide into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Panthers, Flames, 9 o'clock Calgary. The Flames are minus 130, total 6.5. No movement on the total. 15-cent fade of Calgary. The Flames open $1.45 all the way down to minus 130. Total 6.5. Right now, Florida's plus 110 on the money line. Calgary plus $1.75, laying the goal and a half. The Flames are 3-1-1 at home, 6th in goals allowed at home, 6-3-1 in their last 10, taking on Florida. The Panthers on the other side, 29th in goals allowed, 17th in road scoring. When it comes to the total, Calgary is 6-4. Calgary 6-4-1 to the under overall for the year. Give me the Flames minus 130 and the under 6.5 in that game. All right, guys, let's go ahead and slide into our shout-outs brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. Shout out to Vinny Smooth, Bears All Day, my good friend Bears All Day, very nice man. Shout out to Gio Lopez, Omar Esquivel, Trevor Conitzer, who had another rough night last night, not picking the correct teams. Shout out to Punting Edits, Ronnie Christie, That Goat Jacob. Once again, good guy there, That Goat Jacob. Shout out to him. Shout out to Ken Dawali, Paulie Cho, Aaron D, Manny G. Shout out to W.J. Margera, Gene K, Garrett Merkel. Shout out to Level Up, who I have to imagine is from Philadelphia, as he was very happy with the Sugar House shout-outs. Shout out to Larry B, Evil Dax, Daniel Mendez, PMC05. And last but certainly not least, shout out to my man Hector, a.k.a. IREC. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. We are 72% in our last 52 daily double picks on that site. We're also hitting 68% for the college football season on that website. There's also plenty of free content there as well, including my current record. We do daily plays on that website, and we have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to, beginning at just $1.99 per month. Link for that site is in the description section below. That is patreon.com/BrockPage. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank you for tuning in right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Thursday to you. Best of luck to you. And don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage.